Welcome back to another episode of Never If Always Win. This episode, I got a special guest again, my
Yes,
cousin.
sir.
Introduce yourself, my guy.
My name, DeMarco, as they already know.
Right.
Man. Call me Marco.
And he a curve now too with the name.
Yeah,
He want to be official now.
Yes, sir. Big curve.
Right.
Man.
And before we get started, how you doing, man? You doing good?
Doing well, cuz
Right.
man, chilling, just focusing on the little things.
Right.
Man. That's all you can do for real.
Sir, that's all
Discipline, consistency, just do it.
Right. So in this episode, I feel like this is probably gonna be my most important episode I ever do. We're talking about the man above,
Yes,
God.
sir. Yes,
My
sir.
first question is to you: what pushed you to make your relationship even stronger with God? Like, what pushed you to be like, hey, I need to build this relationship with God?
Man, so just to be like really honest, bro, like it was when I went off to school
Mm-hmm.
and I got into like my junior year, and I was struggling with identity, knowing who I am, who I was created to be. I feel like I was just going to school to just make other people happy, you know what I'm saying? But I got to the end and I ran out of Marco. Like I ran out of the will or the strength of Marco. So I was like, where do I go from here? You know what I'm saying? So I started seeking God on a whole new level, man, and like it really changed my life. Like he the they say he the creator. He is the creator, meaning he created us. He created us for a reason. So as I started seeking him, I started getting a better understanding why he created me. And I was like, man, I can't let this go. You know what I'm saying? I can't let this feeling go because he is my creator. He made me. He spoke to me before my mama even knew me. So I had to understand, like, yeah, I gotta keep this relationship 100 because without him, I'm nothing.
Right.
So,
And it's funny you said that because like even when in the first episode, I was talking about how I was in school. The same thing. I feel like I was just there.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't no drip. It wasn't no lane. I didn't know where I was going. No feeling. I feel like I didn't know my purpose. I was literally just doing this and trying to do everything on the fly. Like this was, and I'm thinking in my head like, is this really it? This is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this ain't it.
yeah,
And then even shortly after I left, I couldn't find it. I was searching. Then, like I said, after I started trying, like asking, like I was trying to find it instead of just trying to find it on my own, but asking God to show me something.
mm-hmm.
It's what I'm here with right now.
Yeah,
And so when we were saying this, like I feel like, especially when you're young, it's supposed to be hard. Like it's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to know what you're doing off the real.
mm-hmm.
But we also don't go about it the right way of finding out the way.
Exactly.
Instead of like we doing this to see when you see social media, you see all these people successful. It make you feel like when you're not that, people feel like the only way they can be successful, be great, is by having a whole bunch of money or doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be like that, but it ain't. I don't feel like it's not that way with me no more.
It's not.
My way to doing it and impact people. I want to impact people. I want to be known as somebody who can say, hey, you changed my life. You made me look at this as a different perspective. You made me grow in this kind of way. That's the way I want to grow with it now. And I admit, at one point, it used to be about how can I make the most amount of money.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you still want to be wealthy. You want to be comfortable. But now, the bigger goal is how do you impact people? Exactly. Right? And I know you feel the same way.
Exactly, man. And when you think about, like, we was talking about God, like when you think about the characteristics of Jesus and you follow him in the Bible, he was a man that impacted people. Right? You know what I'm saying? He was a man that influenced people. He was a man that healed people, healed the sick, laid hands. Like, that's what it was.
Right.
His mission was to impact the world. So it's like, if we is made in his image, why not be the same way?
Right.
Why not be the same way as Jesus was?
And I also want to ask the question, even with that, why do you think we stray so far away from God?
It goes back to what you said. Society has painted a picture where you need the money to be successful. You need the money to look like you're doing something in society.
Mm-hmm.
When really we were sent here to make an impact. Jesus died at 33. Young age, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he fulfilled a purpose. That's why he left so early. He didn't grow old.
Right.
We here to serve a purpose, bro. Like we here to do what our creator made us to do. Therefore, once we create that, we can leave. But this business, life is business. like we gotta be about our Father's business. But he also said that the prince of the world is coming, which is the devil. You know what I'm saying? The enemy. So it's like he gonna throw all type of distractions to keep us from that relationship with God. Even religion. Let's talk about religion. That's the devil. The devil throw religion make you feel like you gotta practice stuff. Like you gotta go to church every Sunday. Or you gotta look like you a Christian, or you gotta look like you a believer. It ain't about that. Right. It's about being a believer and following. Like you ain't gotta be perfect. He ain't called us to be perfect. Right. He just called us to follow. And I think a lot of people get caught up in, I gotta go to church to have a relationship with God. You don't. Or I gotta do everything perfect to know God. You don't.
Right. Because and first off, perfect is never an option. It's never. We never gonna be perfect. First off, and with the part, like even like you said, you think people think you gotta go to church or be in Bible study all the time or read your Bible every single day, which is still beneficial. Yeah. But the number one thing is like believing and trying your best to be as close to Jesus Christ as possible. And that's as much as you can give. Like, and you giving the effort, that's enough. Like I said, you gonna mess up. We gonna make mistakes. Hey. It's part of it. Like, you gonna mess up. Yeah. That's with anything. But acknowledging your mistake, number one, and then memorizing and trying to be better with everything else. You can't. Don't beat yourself up about mistakes either. Like after something happens, move past it, see what you did wrong from it, and then keep going forward. And we in the lack of just even that part about like say even if you don't believe, but like even following some of the teachings of just being kind to people or being righteous, trying to be as righteous as you can. I feel like that's just completely wrong. Like everybody, the kindest part, everybody trying to be as mean as possible to everybody. We doing the exact opposite of love all the way around. Exactly. We doing the opposite of the way God taught us to live with everything. Exactly. And it's only gonna get worse. Yeah. Especially because like with who are the young adults and who growing up in now, we gonna be so far away. Man. That's what I say. My grandma say all the time. We live in the last days. Like we going toward the end. Come on, man. You know it's bad when your elders say they ain't never seen days like this. Right. They elders, bro. Exactly. They 60, 70 years old. Right. They've been on the earth that long and ain't seen no days like this, but we living it. Exactly. That's scary, bro. Exactly. Because it seems like everything that gets thrown out is thrown out to go against God. Come on, man. Every single thing. Come on. Every type of movement they push, everything isn't. And then when you say you believe or you stand on this, you looked at as somebody looked at as like a scapegoat, or you looked up as the black sheep. Exactly. Standing up for what's right. Exactly. So that's why I say now, anytime that I'm going against what everybody else saying, I know I'm in the right. Like I feel better about myself when I stand on something that everybody else going against. Yeah. Because it seems like the trend or whatever now is to go against whatever is right. Oh, especially even with relationships now. It seems like the purpose of relationships, I feel like it's all the way out the window. Yeah. People we don't get in relationships to serve each other or serve God. We all about what we can get out of it. Exactly. And that's why a lot of relationships fail, in my opinion. Yeah. Because you're going into it for the wrong reason. Most definitely. Because like you gotta think, man, our relationships start with God. If you ain't got a relationship with God, how you think you're gonna have a relationship with somebody else? Period. You know what I'm saying? Like he the one who created you, bro. Like I'm gonna go back and say he the one who created you. If you don't got a relationship with him, how in the world do you think you're gonna keep a relationship with somebody else? How? No foundation. No foundation nowhere. That's why to be seen. That's why it's steady. Relationship just a relationship, bro. Like people don't value it no more. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then on another note, and this go deeper into the relationship stuff, a lot of people don't know their roles, man. Like a lot of people don't know their roles as a man or as a woman. So it's like you got no foundation, and you got a woman trying to be a man, you got a man acting like a woman. It ain't gonna mix like that because our creator made us to be a man and her to be a woman. And if you trying to be the opposite sex, how is it gonna work? Exactly. And with that, and it's why do you think because when we see these type of conversations be had about the 50-50 or all the other stuff that really don't matter in relationships, it's always our community that's having these conversations. Why do you think that is? Why do you think we are so far behind the 8 ball when it comes to marriage or a whole bunch of different things? everything that's gonna help us go in the right direction seems like we sway the opposite way.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It's what we seen, what we came from. A lot of us come from a traumatic experience, especially
Right.
I'm speaking for our community,
Exactly.
such as Talladega. We come from a really a rural area, and it's a system in place. Like whether you wanna admit it or not, like there's a system in place. You got complexes, apartment complexes that'll let you pay $50 for rent, as long as no man in there. You know what I'm saying? Like only the woman can stay in there. So now you got a woman raising 3 boys. How they gonna know how to be a man?
Exactly.
So they grow up, they disrespectful. They want to sling iron. They ain't got no correction. They don't want to take correction. So it's like it's creating a system. But when are we gonna recognize the system, identify it, and actually go above it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we living in post-traumatic stress. Like that's basically what we doing. Like,
and when to your point, I was talking about that in a previous episode. I was saying like the traumas of slavery, it ain't left us.
it ain't.
Like this stuff been following us ever since. And then even after that, of course, you know, you got the civil rights movement, you got redlining, all kind of different stuff they put into place to still keep us from catching up. Just like you were saying, they've been doing stuff like that. Although if a man in the house, certain stuff can't happen. So people literally give up certain things or give up a relationship just so stuff can be cheaper. And then and when you're doing it, it's constantly the power is always in the family. Like we done lost that identity so much. Like now, it's rare that you see. We got so many women having babies and all this with no father figure, no family, no nothing. And that's the power in the family, in love.
Yeah.
So when people and we making, and that's gonna lead to even more trauma when you have a single mother, a father is not there. What you think gonna happen to that baby? You ain't seeing no kind of love. All you see is your mama, and I think that's go to another point. You know how we have certain mothers who raise daughters and tell them they don't need a man just because they had to do it without a man. I mean, and it just leads to more and more and more trauma, stress, and like I said, we don't correct it, it's gonna get even worse and worse. Because it ain't getting better. It's getting worse because ain't nobody saying that.
Exactly.
It's normal. Ain't nobody saying that. We treating this stuff like it's normal. We treating being a single mother or having 3 or 4 kids out of wedlock. Marriage ain't even a discussion now. We're not even having a discussion about marriage. And then we try to sit up and say and cope and say that marriage don't matter. Or it's not a goal. How?
It's crazy.
How is it not?
It's crazy.
Family is besides God, family is number 2.
Exactly.
It's number 2. It's nothing else. So why in the world is that? Why is there not a discussion? Why are we not discussing marriage more? Instead of discussing, we discuss all the other parts of our relationship. Instead of, we don't have enough people, or I don't feel like we don't have enough people who are married speaking about marriage either.
Exactly.
It's all single people talking.
Exactly.
I want the married people to come say something.
Exactly.
Come say how you feel. Come say the benefits of marriage. What if I learned from being with this person? Like and then the love part, I don't want to go there. I want to do it on another episode. But it's so skewed.
Yeah.
It's skewed. It's like, is it really love or is it lust?
It's lust. It's lust, cuz. And
my goodness.
I say lust because they ain't got that servant attitude.
Right.
It's what can I get out of this person? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And once I get what I want out of this person, I'm good. Exactly. And that's selfish. Like love is selfless. How can you love somebody and you selfish? You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people done got away from the principles and the morals, man, from the Bible. The Bible is the truth.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that's been lasting for years after years after years. These trends, they just recycling. You know what I'm saying? Like 90s coming back. That was a trend. The style, the way they dress, that was a trend. That stuff don't last. But the foundation and the truth of God, it remains the same. That's the only thing on the earth right now that has stayed the same, and no man has contaminated it. You can't go edit the Bible. You might can do a new version of it, but you can't edit the original version of what God wrote because it's the truth. That's why they trying to ban it from school. They might delete it, but that's why they're trying to ban it from school. It's the truth. It's principles, my nigga, and they try to. They it's to the point where even I don't want to get too deep, but rappers now rappers, singers, all of that. They is a religion too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a religion too. They preach. You know them songs? That's a sermon.
Exactly.
And people listen to it. And the more they listen to it, it drives them away from the principles and the morals of the truth.
And to that point, when you talk about the music, like even the vibrations,
yeah,
or all this, it's so like I said, stuff get real deep when you really get into it with the music. Like, and when you and that goes into the part about these young kids, you grow up listening to murder music about black men killing each other. And it come cool. It's cool to carry a gun. It's cool to be in the street. And then another part, and I'm reading a book called Think and Grow Rich. It was talking about how majority of the men who are successful, the driving force is a woman behind them. Like, instead of, and I feel like that's the desire of sex. We're using the desire of sex in the wrong way. Because you know how, as a man, it's natural for you to desire that.
Yeah.
But if you channel that desire into some worth, some or purpose, we put even a quarter of, some of these dudes put even a quarter of the effort they put into chasing women into a purpose or something. Do you know how great we'll be? I'm talking about y'all would really be great if you found something that you like, that you passionate about, and you put even part of that effort into something. We would be much better as a people. Period.
Yeah.
But when you, like I said about the music, when we listening, the kids they don't have the discernment to say this is just a song. This is a song. This ain't real life.
Yeah.
So they listen to these things. There are also these little girls and women who tell them they like street dudes. You got to be hood. Exactly. I want this. It just push it out even more.
Exactly. I was chilling the other day and I was just thinking, like, you just said something so powerful. Like, it really goes down to like identity. Like, growing up in those rural areas, what everybody chased, they really chased the identity. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't to be cool.
Right.
It wasn't to fit in.
Right.
It's to feel belong, like feel a sense of belonging, identity. Why you think people nowadays, the trend is when I get on Facebook, I change my name. I don't use my real name. A lot of people don't use their real name. Why? Because that's the new character that they developed for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about the East and the West Side. They ain't got their real names on them. It ain't because the police. It's because this is my identity now.
Right.
This who I created. This who I'm gonna stand on. Whether that's holding a gun, whether that's shooting at somebody's house or coughing.
Right.
This is my identity that I'm gonna protect, because outside of it, I didn't have one. Nobody ever instilled in me a true identity. Nobody ever took me to the Creator or God, Jesus Christ, and taught me how to seek out my own identity. That's why you got a lot of people following trends.
Right.
That's why you got a lot of people looking the same, talking the same, because they want a sense of belonging. They never had an identity. So it's an identity crisis. It's really an identity crisis, man. It's like got nothing to do with COVID. It's an identity crisis.
Right.
People don't know who they are.
And that's what I want to speak on. I feel like it's rare to have a sense of individuality now. We all group thinking.
Exactly.
Because people don't want to be, you don't want to be slandered, or you don't want to be put out. Like, you say something that everybody else don't agree with, they're gonna attack you on social media now. Exactly. Like, just for having a difference of opinion. And a lot of times when the one gets slandered is the one who in the right, in the right way. Because even with it is group thinking, everything, politics, music, relationships, nobody has a sense of individuality. Everybody is thinking the same way. The women are on one side, the men on one side. It's the division, and it's just dividing us farther and farther apart. We get broke down so strategically, and we don't even see it. I'm talking about literally, and it's been happening for 400 years. And I'm talking about we just get broke down. It went from slavery, snatching us away, having to work. Then we start getting back to being free, I guess. They put something else into place to bring the family apart even more, and it's gonna keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Gonna keep going.
I'm telling you,
because we don't see it. We don't have the right conversations. We talk about everything but the right thing. We talk about everything but something productive.
Exactly. That's why I commend you. That's why I commend you for this podcast. Right. Because like conversations like this needed. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people They scared of friction.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They scared of that. But you know, like I know, bro, like we be on the same type of tip, and we read a lot too.
Exactly.
We try to educate ourselves because at the end of the day, we were just like them. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time,
yes, sir.
but we knew a certain level that we weren't getting to.
Exactly.
But we had to take and be assertive with learning a new way. You know what I'm saying? Than what we was taught growing up. Some of our ways that even our parents and our older people taught us weren't right. You know what I'm saying? But now you got people getting taught by the world. But they say, you know the saying, like, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book.
Yep.
We don't want knowledge.
Exactly.
We don't want to change. We don't desire to change. Why? Because it's going to challenge who we are. Wow. We going to challenge who we are. And we scared of challenge as a race. That's why we want to belong. That's why we want to fit in. That's why we want to condemn to this world. Because I feel like I belong.
It's that, and it's like you said, it's a sense of comfortability.
Yeah.
Like change is hard, but it's necessary. It's very necessary, especially with us. We have a lot of stuff that we need to change. Like even to the point where you were saying how the elders they taught us a lot of the wrong things. Exactly. And you try to even have a conversation. Some people have tried to even have a conversation, correct them about it. No, this is the way I was taught. This is the way I was raised. That don't mean it's right.
Exactly.
You know, just because you was taught this certain kind of way or you was raised this way. Exactly, for expressing yourself. But if I tell you just because you were raised to do something a certain way, or your mother or father taught you this way, that don't make it right. Exactly. That don't mean you do it with your kid.
Exactly.
Because you know how you felt when they did it to you. Yeah. So if you know how you felt when they did it to you, why aren't you making concerted effort to be better with your children?
Thanks.
To know, if I know how this made me feel, I know this is what I need to change to be better. And they go to the point of therapy. I feel like we all need to go to therapy.
Oh man.
For sure. Even because even if you don't think, like I said, I've grown up in a stable family. Yeah. Like we don't when we have an issue, something we discuss it. Yeah. We don't yell, we don't scream, we discuss it, then we move forward. Yeah. Some people grow up in families where when you have an issue, it's fighting, cussing, all kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's still things that I struggle with. Mm-hmm. Like it's things that I know I could be better with. Mm-hmm. So therapy I feel like should be an option for everybody.
Exactly.
We shouldn't. And what I hate is when somebody say, "That's just how I am."
Oh my god.
I hate them words. That's just how I am. What do you mean? That's just how you are.
You don't want to grow.
Don't want to grow at all. Just say I'm content with being. I'm content with being average, or I'm content with being. When especially when sometimes people know this, what they're doing is wrong, but it's still. So it's just me.
Exactly.
No, I refuse to be around you. I cannot be around nobody who cannot take. Go ahead.
There's a law in the land. The Creator created it's 4 seasons.
Right.
The trees don't have leaves throughout the whole year.
They don't.
They shed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like they do that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They change. They adapt to the environment, what's going on around them. A lot of times, if those trees don't change, they'll die. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they'll die because I need leaves in the summertime. Right. I don't need leaves in the wintertime. It's a law in land that change has to happen.
Right.
And as humans, a lot of times we don't get what we want to get, or we hate on somebody that's actually getting what they get because I don't want to change. It hurts. It don't feel good. I don't want to be challenged. I want to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's the mindset. I know you read the book, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Mm-hmm. It's two different mindsets. You got the growth mindset is always willing to take on the challenge, but you got the fixed mindset that says I don't want that. I don't desire that, but I'm mad at the growth mindset because he getting what he gets.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Like, or this probably a little controversial, but to eat the rich people, like the people who say people shouldn't have this or people shouldn't have this certain amount, or people are greedy because they go after what they want.
Yeah.
And you don't change nothing about yourself. Like, I find it funny how, we have a lot of people in our community who say they want to be this, want to be wealthy, or want to make an impact on the world, but you change nothing.
Come on.
You do nothing different.
Come on, man.
You don't say I'm gonna do this, or you don't plan. You don't have a plan or nothing. You wake up and do the same thing every single day and say one day I'm gonna be rich. How? It's not coming.
You ain't even mastered consistency.
Exactly.
How you gonna be rich?
Nobody, and the point of nobody is coming to give you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna come and hand the money in your lap. You gotta figure out a way to do it.
Come on, man.
You gotta figure out a plan.
Come on.
Like, see, now what I try to do now, I have a whiteboard. So I write down before the day. I write down what I'm going to do that day, and I stick to it.
Yeah.
And once you do that long enough, what I saw is making yourself believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You know how we'll tell ourselves we're going to do something, then don't do it. So you don't even believe in yourself now. You don't trust yourself. So if you don't trust yourself, of course you're going to say you can't do certain things. I can't do this because I won't. But when you really need to say I can't do this because I won't stick to what I say I'm going to do. I won't be consistent in the gym. Because I ain't got to go today.
Exactly.
Yes, you do.
Exactly.
That's how you feel to have to go.
Exactly.
Do it. And that's really with everything. You just got to do it, man. You can't. I feel like I didn't even then. You know how I done heard a term where you so smart. Mm-hmm. You talk yourself out of doing something great. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel like I was in the beginning before I started this. Like I said, I was going to do it, but I was like, I got to have this right.
Yeah.
I got to learn how to do this first.
Yeah.
Until I just did it.
Yeah.
And now I'm just doing it. They're imperfect action. Sometimes we stress about something, and the point about it is we love ourselves more than anybody else, but we worry about the opinions of others more than our own opinion.
Come on, man. I think that's the hardest thing.
Exactly.
Like that's the hardest thing with chasing after God. And that's back to the title. But a lot of people don't want to chase after God because it don't look fun. You know what I'm saying? It don't look amusing.
It ain't accepted no more.
But at the end of the day, your life will be so much better.
Right.
You'll have more peace. God said, I'm the Prince of Peace. Meaning, outside of me, there's really no peace. You know what I'm saying? You might find temporary peace in buying a car or buying a house. Mm-hmm. That's going to run out.
Exactly.
That's going to run out.
Exactly.
That's eternal peace. Peace that even if the world crashing around me, I'm peaceful. Right. Even if I'm getting fired from my job, I'm peaceful because I know I'm in right commune with God, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to worry about nothing. Mm-hmm. Because the Bible says, he is concerned about the same things we concerned about. Mm-hmm. Meaning, if I'm concerned about how I'm going to pay my rent, God concerned about the same thing. Meaning, he already got a plan on how he's going to do it. But if you lack the faith, it's not gonna happen for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because you don't even have faith in it. You got too much faith in yourself.
And that's with everything. Even with to do something extraordinary, you gotta have faith. You gotta have God first off, and the faith in God. Because like sometimes even in the Bible, he been asked some of his servants to do some things. They were like, "No way, exactly. This is impossible. I can't do this." But everything is possible with God. Come on. And even with the point you was talking about how you buy certain things, and you buy this net, and you still don't be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Now, there's plenty of people, successful, wealthy people who are still unfulfilled because they have no relationship with God, or they ain't tapped into their purpose.
Exactly.
Nobody's purpose is to be as rich or is to be as rich as ever. That's not a purpose. There's nothing. That's nothing. That's stuff in the world. It's not. But your purpose is something else.
Exactly. It's to serve.
Exactly.
Think about everything in this room. Mm-hmm. That chair right there. Right. What is meant to do?
To sit on, to serve. Right.
The roof on this thing. What is it meant to do?
To cover.
It's to serve humanity, cuz. Like when you think about the trees, they let off something that we need. Right. Everything he created, everything on this earth serves a purpose. Right. And anything outside of that purpose, you will never be fulfilled. Exactly. That goes for everybody.
Exactly. And I'm saying you when we searching, I feel like we searching for all the wrong things. Like you be on social media. Social media is a gift and a curse. Because like if you don't use it or you don't learn from it the right way, it will skew your whole mind. Mm-hmm. Especially because like this, I feel like that's even why you get so far away from the Bible. Mm-hmm. We see so much stuff that we just shouldn't see. Mm-hmm. We seeing all this stuff, and before then, you didn't see this stuff. Exactly. You didn't see all these different women. Oh my God. You didn't see all these different people living these different lives. You only saw what you saw when you went outside. Come on, but when you can open your phone and see 40 different women.
Come on, man.
10 different dudes with rich with cars, and you like, what am I doing? How am I so far behind the 8 ball? But you're not.
Come on, man.
And they go to their social media point. It's just so.
And
it's not
education too.
It's a whole bunch of that on there.
Education.
A whole bunch of that on there.
Somebody can get on there, bro, and say anything, and somebody will believe it because it sounds good.
Exactly.
I done seen it, and it be. I don't want to cut, but it be pissing me off. These folks be believing anything on TikTok.
Yes.
Anything, bro. And I be like, bro, like, what kind of research you did on it? You ain't did no research.
That too. Like they'll see something. Don't ask questions.
Nothing.
Question everything. Except God. Everything else except God, I'm questioning. I'm not believing nothing as soon as I see it. I'm questioning. Oh, do that? Sometimes you even read something and say, that don't sound right.
Come on, man.
I don't know how true that be.
Come on, man. Come on, but that's how it be, bro. Like that miseducation piece is taking a toll on a lot of us. And back to what you were saying about, we see too much.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same way in the garden. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know they was naked till they ate the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went and hid from God.
Right.
But it was the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
Good and evil, meaning it's saying that there is knowledge, there's good knowledge, and there's evil knowledge. So it's like when they bit the fruit, it was like, okay, they was seeing stuff that they ain't supposed to see.
Right.
Because why? It'll corrupt you. It corrupt. We got cursed because they did that. You know what I'm saying? Humanity got cursed because they knew too much.
Right.
And when you think about the people today, they know too much, but don't know the truth.
Right.
So when the truth is presented, it's a war.
Exactly.
It's a battle. That's all it is. It's truth and worldly opinions. That's really what it is. It's opinions. People get on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram all day expressing themselves. Why? Because they need a therapist. That's what they really need. Because they get on there expressing themselves, and they got people that want to feel belong. So of course I'm gonna go with it because it sounds like what I'm going through.
Right. And it's much easier to hear somebody to scroll on your TikTok page and listen to it instead of going into the Bible and finding exactly what you need to hear.
Exactly.
And stuff sound better when people tell themselves what they want to hear, and they go searching for somebody to say what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Not what you need to hear, but you're gonna listen to the person who say what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
Exactly.
So when somebody and people, like I say, you have an idea in your mind of what you want to hear.
Exactly.
So that's what you're gonna hear. That's what you're gonna believe.
Yeah.
And that's with everything. And back to the social media point, when you read and you see all these different things on social media, that becomes your identity. Mm-hmm. What you feed yourself, that's what you are. Exactly. So that's why I say pay attention to what you pay attention to. Mm-hmm. So if you pay attention to ignorance and all this stuff that don't benefit you in no kind of way, you won't take the challenge, or you won't realize that, hey, I need to change certain things by myself.
Yeah.
Because the first step of getting better is acknowledging that you need to do better. Exactly. So it's a lot of people that's living and thinking they don't need to be better. They thinking they okay, or they thinking this is the right way to go about it. But it's not. And then you ain't got nobody. That's why I'm so grateful for my grandmother, bro.
Yeah.
Like how different would I be without her? Living coming from Talladega, engaging in social media in this era.
Yeah.
Being, like I said, in the environment I was around. How different would I be without her constantly instilling in me the word of God?
True.
How different would I be? And I realized that I'm just so blessed. Because I could be thinking this certain kind of way and thinking that it's the right way.
Yeah.
And not knowing any better.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to do this. I want to push this out here. It may sound a little better coming from me than somebody who elderly or older.
Exactly. You the breed.
Exactly. And even then, even in school, I was always the outside man. Mm-hmm. I was never into what everybody else did. I always had my own individuality. I always been me.
Yeah.
I never wanted to fit in because who am I if I'm all of y'all?
Exactly.
Who am I?
Man, I heard a quote the other day, man. It say, when you fail to be different, you fail to make a difference. So if everybody the same, how can you make a difference? When everybody on the same type of wave, riding the same type of trend, how can I be different? How can I make a change? And even your story with being, I don't even think you knew who you was. I feel like God had you secluded just for this time now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, now you speaking I bet back then you weren't speaking as much. You know,
I was
you
quiet.
had knowledge,
Right.
but you had to kind of wait it out. You know what I'm saying, for the perfect time. You know, Ecclesiastes 3:11 say it's a time for everything.
Right.
It's a time to cry. It's a time to be happy. It's a time. It goes down the list. But your time is now.
Okay.
Your time is really now because
Yes,
it's a fallen world we living in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the truth ain't popular.
It's not at all. And even like I said, even in like in high school, when I said certain things, or I rather not indulge in certain things,
Mm-hmm.
they feel like I was better than. I feel like they felt like I thought I was better than them.
Yeah.
Do I really feel like that? Or do you feel like that?
Exactly.
That's what I really want to ask.
Exactly.
Do I think I'm better than you, or do you think that? Because I'm different from y'all, and I look at things a certain kind of way, and I don't do what you do, and I'm content with that.
Yeah.
I'm content with being this certain kind of way, and I feel like you see that I'm doing better than you. I think about things a lot better than you, and you projecting that onto me.
Yeah.
Because I never once tell nobody I'm better than you. I just try to offer the knowledge that I can give to people.
Yeah.
I just try to offer a different perspective. Because like you said, you just posted. Yep. Perspective is your reality. How you see things is how things are to you.
Exactly.
So if you see things a totally different way, and I offer this perspective, it's just to make you think.
Yeah.
I don't try to change nobody's mind because you can't. Don't nobody want to change their mind. You can't change it all.
Yeah.
I would just say how I feel about something, and I offer it to you, and then you do what you will with it.
Yeah. Facts.
Right.
Facts. And that's usually how it goes. Mm-hmm. Like, but it's a spirit at work. It's a force at work to everybody that's different. It's a spirit at work. It don't even be necessarily them. It be a spirit that wants you to conform to what they do.
Right.
Therefore, you won't have no more power. Mm-hmm. You won't have no more influence because why? You do the same thing I do, nigga. Why I need to listen to you?
Exactly.
But as long as I'm being different, they might not accept what you say in that moment. But they'll get high or they'll get drunk like, hey, Reese said, well, he said some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna challenge them because you live it too. Right. It ain't you just speaking, you living it. Mm-hmm. You living in your identity. You living in being different. You living in not indulging in what the popular crowd is indulging in. So now you got a better leverage. Not saying you better, not saying you, it's saying that you got more influence on somebody that's basically in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Stand alone. Be alone.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? And let your light do the work. Mm-hmm. People gon' feel like, oh, he must be, you think he better than you. He better. Nah, it ain't that.
Exactly.
I'm just doing what I need to do to get where I need to get. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna look up. They gonna be the same people going in circles in that cycle because they don't want to learn. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be challenged. This is what it is.
It is what it is.
This is what it is.
And my last question to you: how do we get God back into it? How do we make God the focal point of us again, of our career? How do we get Him to be number one again instead of worldly stuff? How do we do that?
I think it goes back to like rebuilding the mindset of what chasing God looks like. Like I said, it's not going to church every Sunday. Mm-hmm. It's not going to Bible study every Wednesday. Right. It's actually prioritizing your relationship with God. Mm-hmm. Just say a girl came in here. We in a relationship. I can't go all week without talking to her. Mm-hmm. Why? Because she gonna feel like something wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta do the same thing with my Creator. My God, wow. Jesus Christ. Like, I can't be a Sunday or a Wednesday, this every day. Exactly. Prioritizing my relationship with God and understanding that it's cool. It's cool to chase God. It is. Like, it's not no lame. It's not no, this man created you. Right. Jeremiah 29:11 say, if I know the plans that I have for you, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. You was with God. Everybody that He created was with Him before they even know it. Right. Like, that's why, this is my theory though, like I'm going off, but like deja vu, mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people have deja vu because they seen it before, right? Mm-hmm. It's because we was dwelling with God before He even released us to the earth. Right. So when you see that, it's almost like something in play right here. You know, like I really done seen this day before. So it's like I think it's a stigma around church, and don't get me wrong, like a lot of people have been church hurt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been judged, so it's from church people.
Right.
So we gotta also break the stigma. Like it's not the old way. It's not back then. They used to. You had to come in with a dress on. You had to come in with a little suit on with the shirt tucked. It's not that way no more, and it shouldn't be that way. So we gotta get out of that stigma mentality where I gotta look a certain way to chase God.
Right.
It's gonna take a lot of work, but we know God, so it starts with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
saying?
Everything it starts with us. Like, don't be scared to have a conversation. I don't care what they doing. They could be smoking a blunt in front of you. How you react with God? How you talk to God? How you pray? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know how to pray. I'll talk to people that don't know how to pray. They'll call me and be like, bro, can you pray for me? I don't know. I don't know how to pray. It's the basics. We done got away from the basics. So that's why horoscopes and stones and affirmations, all of that done took place because it's quick access. I don't gotta wait on the process. I don't gotta wait for God to talk to me.
Right.
It's easy access. So we just gotta retrain our minds and how we see it.
I feel like we'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And when you just talking about horoscopes, we do everything. We try to figure out the way of life through everything but seeking God. So we doing everything but the right thing. We're trying to figure out this way of life. So my advice to anybody, and that's how I'm walking in my purpose now.
Yeah.
I found this by seeking God, by asking Him, what should I be doing with this? Ask about everything. Anything that you're doing that you're not sure about, that you're struggling with, or even stuff that you feel like you do know. Ask, am I doing the right thing with this? Just talk to God, and I promise you do that, you seek God, you seek that relationship, I promise your life will get better. It don't, no matter if it ain't gonna say it's gonna happen right away. Don't think that.
Yeah.
But if you stay on that path and say, hey, I'm gonna build my relationship with God. I'm gonna become better myself. I'm gonna follow the teachings of God. It is no way your life doesn't get better. And we'll leave it on that note.
Yes, sir.
It's nice to have you. Yes, sir.
Gonna change the world, man.